video from SKM Online. It's been a few weeks since we've had one of these videos, partly because of our VBS program a couple weeks ago. But once again, this is meant to keep you in the loop with what's happening here at the Spark, as well as to get into our 2-minute tidbit, a quick little Bible story where we can continue our monthly virtues here at the Spark. So speaking of VBS, thank you to each of you that were able to be here and be a part of that program. It was so great to see each of you, especially after being away from each other for so long, and I hope you were able to learn something through that program. Now here's the cool thing about doing a hybrid VBS program. And by the way, hybrid just means that half of the program was virtual and half of it was in person. So if you missed our VBS program for whatever reason, or if you just want to relive that week, half of that VBS program, what we call the large group portion, is still available to watch anytime you want on the Spark Kids Ministry YouTube channel. So if you missed it, you can still feel like you were a part of that program, even though it actually took place a couple weeks ago. Also, I'm hoping to have a recap video posted soon so you can see a short version of what we talked about that week as well. Okay, so now looking ahead, all of the schools in the area are getting ready to get started up for a new school year, and so a lot of people are wondering about the Sparks Wednesday night program and what that's going to look like. Right now, what I can tell you is that we plan to start sometime next month. It's probably going to look a little bit different, at least at the start of the school year, because of the precautions that we need to take due to the virus, but we will definitely be doing something soon, so please stay tuned for more information about that. I know I'm really excited to get going in a new school year, and I hope you are too. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to the 2-minute tidbit, our quick little Bible story for today. We're starting a new virtue today, so over the next few weeks, we'll be talking about creativity, which we're defining as imagining what you could do because you're made in God's image. Our verse to go along with that is, "Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. His greatness no one can fathom." And that comes from Psalm 145:3. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're talking about creativity, and we know that God is incredibly creative. We know that God is indescribable because we can see the amazing world that He made. And we can read about it way back at the beginning of the Bible in Genesis chapter 1. Verse 1 and 2 says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters." The earth had no shape. It was just emptiness, but then God started to create. On day 1, God created light and dark. On day 2, He created the sky and the water. And on day 3, dry ground and the seas were separated. And each day after He created those things, He looked at what He had done and He saw that it was good. And then on day 4, He continued with the sun and the moon and the stars. And once again, He took notice that this was good. And on day 5, we really start to see how creative God is. He made the fish and the birds. And in Genesis 1:20, we can read about that. God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky." On day 6, God created the other animals. In Genesis 1:24, it says, "God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. And once again, God looked at what He'd created and saw that it was good. And then for the grand finale on day 6, God created people. In Genesis 1:27, we read, "God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him. Male and female He created them." And so God got down in the dirt and shaped the very first man and woman, Adam and Eve. And God blessed Adam and Eve. And in verse 128, it says, "God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and over every living creature that moves on the ground.'" And then on day 7, God rested. So remember that we are talking about creativity here over the next few weeks, and hopefully what we got out of today's story is that God is incredibly creative. God made everything, and what's even more incredible is that He started from nothing. So God can do anything. And that's it for this week. Looking forward to seeing you soon.